Now I want to talk about Blackness a little bit. Your debut album, Black on Both Sides. You call yourself Black Dante. You have a band called Black Jack Johnson. You and Black Star, but recently you and me in conversation. We've talked about Blackness and sort of moving away from identifying so much as Blackness, but talking more about the African politic, because race is a social construct. Can you break some of that down?
Well, as I've said before, there's a quote from my childhood, one of my childhood friends, Kasim Magnetic.
Peace to Kasim Magnetic.
He said, "As black, as white, as money, is all unequal. The adjectives can never be nouns. We are the people." And that ideology of blackness when I was younger was taken from the examples of people like, of course, Muhammad Ali and Malcolm X and others, but for me, primarily them. And also like X-Clan and the Jungle Brothers and Native Tongues and that whole thing. That had a big impact on me. Like Native Tongues.
Absolutely.
But I mean, Jungle Brothers in particular. That first and second album, Straight Out the Jungle, Jump Out of Forces and Ages. It was like, you know, the educated man from the motherland. You see me call me a star, but that's not what I am. I'm a jungle brother. A true blue brother. And I've been in many places you never discover. So that whole ethos was in the city, you know what I'm saying? Like people on the, you know, booksellers selling, you know, Message to the Black Man, Behold the Pale Horse, Sheikh Anti-Diop. You know, that was the ethos of our youth. So, and to be fair, it was like the cultural status quo. Like if you wasn't on that, you wasn't even invited. Like nobody wanted to hang with you. Nobody wanted to be with you.
That's an interesting point that get lost in the retelling of that history.
Yeah,
it was like popular.
There was nothing else to be on. You know what I'm saying? Like the hard rock, the hardest MC, like solo MC at that time was Rakim.
Yeah.
And he was rocking gold chains, but he was like, so follow me, or she was thinking you was first. Let's travel at magnificent speeds around the universe. What can you say is the earth gets further and further away, planting smaller balls of clay. So it's like these dudes are like velour and leather, you know, sweatsuits and gold chains, like thinking of a master plan. You know, it was like that was the status quo, and that was it. You know, like there was an era where like New York not only ran like who the stars were, but like what the messaging was, period. Like there was no glorifying drug talk. There's, you know, maybe have like a little one or two, like, you know, Run DMC was about as like raw as you could get it, but they had the authority, because it's like you could talk about cool cheap fucker, I don't drink fucker, I keep a bag of cheaper inside my, you expected Run to be like, Run, you know, right. DJ, I run shit, you know what I'm saying? I do what I want. But apart from that, like, you know, so like literally has songs like Close the Crack House Down. You know what I'm saying? It was like
whole movements.
That was that was what it was for a long time, you know. And like bragging about how dope you was as far as you could go, but like, you know, and you had like the Spoonie G, like, you know, the explicit stuff, you know, but that was like, that was not on the radio. Rap wasn't on the radio before an hour a week on the weekends with DJ Red Alert and, you know, like local New York radio stations. And that was it. So it was like really a street culture. Even, you know, KRS came a criminal minded. It was like, and my philosophy, it was like, there was no, I didn't see it like that glorifying the gangsterism or gangster lifestyles. And there was some dudes that was like officially, legitimately like in the streets, but they just wouldn't talk about it on records, you know?
Right, street legends.
Yeah, for sure. That all came from where we was growing up at. I don't behave in the way that I'm expected to behave as an artist for certain audiences, you know. People have always tried to make it about one thing or the other with me or us. It's like, oh, you guys are the blackness guys, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, so that's like, you run the blackness lane. You know, they even came up with these, You know, all of these terminologies like conscious rap, and it's just like it's just kind of like very loose, ambiguous language as opposed to what, like, you know, a sleep rap. Like, what do you even mean when you say that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or it's like, I mean, commercial rap. It's like, well, you know, our records are for sale. So
Right.
what are you really saying? With like,
Right.
what do you like? What type of box are you trying to put us in? And I mean, yeah, I address a lot of different themes in my music. It's not just, you know, the theme of like my heritage or politics, you know. But as a younger person, I those things were very important to me, and they're still important to me. But I have a different understanding of them now with the passage of, you know, time and experience, and I express them in another type of way. There was a lot that I wasn't exposed to or didn't know at that time, but there was a lot that I was interested in. There was a lot that I felt on an instinctual level, and I just expressed it. But like I you know, I have always been rejecting those type of labels about like, oh, this is what you are. This is how we can categorize you and classify you, so we can arrange you as like a consumer product.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know, we were working artists who were lucky, fortunate enough, and gratefully skilled enough to be able to say that this is our profession, because there were a lot of people, as you can attest to, Kwa, that was super dope that never got to do it at this level or consistently at this level. You know, it was who you know, deserved the shot, at least in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And for whatever reason, you know, it just didn't happen for them that way. So that was always the victory to me. Whatever people want to call it, you know, conscious rap, backpack rap, you know, I at this point in my life or career, I'm you know, I want to spend my energy and time on something else besides just explaining myself or, you know, what I've been doing or what that means. It's like, if it means something to you, whatever I say, whatever I do, fine. If it doesn't, you know, I at least I ain't lied to you. I wasn't like over here pretending to be something that I'm not for your approval or attention. You know, what you got and will continue to get out of me and us is a sincere expression. Whether you understand it or not, it's not a lie. You know, it's what we really who we really are, what we really responding to, or what is really important to us, and I'm just leaving it at that.
What we done started, look at what we done started. This the people party. When opportunity knocking, then young nigga move that door. Whoa, get your foot stuck, get it, call me young, go get it. Now you can't fuck with it, might as well roll with it. What's the word?